I'm Maeve, and this is JP, and we're the parents of Seán, Murren and Killian, and we're from Clonsilla in Dublin. Well, coming up to, so Seán had turned 2 in the August, and coming up to Christmas Eve 2019, he woke up in the morning and essentially the right side of his face had no movement. So we went to the doctors, and then we were referred to Temple Street on Stevens's Day, and he was diagnosed with Bell's palsy, so kind of temporary facial paralysis. We were referred to a neurologist, but we couldn't see couldn't see anybody face to face.
Basically, all the appointments were cancelled, so our appointment with your neurologist was scheduled for that April. So because of all the COVID restrictions, they basically were just cancelling all the appointments. It's only very specific.
Towards the end of May, we noticed over the period of a weekend that he was very lethargic. He had been sick, and he kind of started to walk like he was drunk, is the only way you could describe it. So it was a Sunday. We went into JP, brought him into DDoC, and from DDoC then he was referred straight into Temple Street. So got into Temple Street.
The specialist came in and said, I really don't like it. We're going to give him a scan. So then they did the scan, and she said, bad news, we've seen a very large tumour. So there they had diagnosed basically that the tumour was a Ewing sarcoma. It's 1 in a million that they get this cancer in that location. They said, we're going to have to ring your wife and tell her. So we rang Maeve, said, make sure you're not holding the baby. We have a bit of news to tell you here. Said they've discovered this tumour. We're going to have to go in for emergency surgery.
You know, he went straight into having an operation on top of another operation. As soon as he left Temple Street, he went to Crumlin and started chemo. They had to start chemo as soon as possible, and he just was so distressed by everything that was happening. We couldn't comfort him while there's still COVID restrictions in place. We couldn't, we have great family and great friends, but there was only so much they could do for us. We were terrified of infection for Seán's case. We were also didn't want to put our families at risk and our friends at risk. So it was very isolating time for us, really. So any delay in his treatment meant that we were creeping closer and closer to Christmas. So there was delays. He had his last radiation treatment on the 21st of December. I think throughout the whole journey of Seán's illness, it felt like every time we started to figure out what was happening, something else would happen. We couldn't warn about that. We couldn't prepare her for that. We'd be there 1 minute, and the next minute one of us would have to be gone with them into the hospital, and we wouldn't know how long we'd be gone for or when we'd be back. In February 2021, Seán rang the bell. He completed his treatment. We just still had a fear, a real fear. And then when we found out about Barretstown. From the minute we pulled up, there was music playing, people meeting us. Everybody was so friendly. Seeing your children running around, playing, looking relaxed.
Just being kids. You had the guilt of the other two, but they were as involved as Seán was. It was like, this is fun for all of them. They're just like, this is the best thing ever.
A much more positive and uplifting way to tell him his story and explain his story to him. We go to Barretstown because you had cancer, and because you went through all your treatment, this is why we now go to Barretstown, and we can talk to him about it and kind of make it normal. As he's always been, he's such an open little child, and I think that was one of the things that we saw down here in Barretstown, is that he could go back to really being that open, friendly little boy that he'd always been, because we felt so relaxed here. We knew that if we needed anything for Seán, that it was here on site for him, and that's brilliant. And Barretstown has definitely been a huge part of that journey, and we're really grateful for it. Asking them what their favourite thing about Barretstown was. And the two, Murren and Seán, both said it's spending time as a family. They do both seem to genuinely really appreciate the fact that we can all spend time together, because there was just a time there where that wasn't happening.
Like, for the people who are supporting Barretstown, I don't even think they could conceive of how much of a difference they're actually making to people like myself and Maeve and our family. It's an unbelievable gift that they're giving to families like ours that have gone through so much, and I wouldn't even know how to say thank you.
Just that,
to these
just
people.
thank you.
It's just thanks.
Like, don't
so
underestimate how much it can change a family's life.